Yeah, I put my dad in the street against a heavyweight.
I've gone back to the dad. I've punched him a few more
There's
times.
5 blokes outside my front door. Can you come and help
One
me?
hell of a fucking story, so stay tuned.
Razabani for IFL TV, proudly sponsored by Everlast. Finally, I managed to hunt him down in his car. Nathan Gorman. Nathan, how are we doing, mate?
All good, brother. Are you?
I'm good. I'm good. What's all this hiding around that you're doing? You know, I've been trying to get hold of you, and you're like,
I know. It's truthfully, it's the signal where I live. I live in the sticks, to be fair. So there's hardly any service. So I'm at the gym now. It's the only service I get, believe it or not. So I have about 2-3 hours of service.
how was the session today?
Yeah, good, tough. Done 8 rounds, just 8 rounds, pads, bags, and stuff, all like mixture circuits and stuff like that. So it was a good session, tough session. Number one banked. Trained twice today, so
Nice.
Good start to the week.
Obviously, wanted to talk to you about the heavyweight fight on the weekend, but before we get to that, Nathan, I just wanted to discuss yourself and what the latest was. I interviewed Fabio Wardley last week, and he said to me it was all agreed in principle. I'm not sure if I can't remember if he said it was signed and sealed, but he goes, it was all agreed in principle for you to fight him on the zone.
Right. Truthfully, I'm going to be honest. It's been agreed verbally, like a handshake. Nothing signed and sealed. DAZN or Channel 5 hasn't been said yet, truthfully. I was ready to box him in September, the 2nd, I think. To be fair, I was ready to box him in June straight after my fight. I got back after my last fight in June the 17th. I had a week off and I got straight back into the gym, so I was ready to go anytime. I've heard he's got an arm injury or hand injury or something like that. Obviously, you can't help injuries, but now they're saying November. I'm going to fight in between, and I'm going to be fighting probably September time. As obviously, if I wait from June to November, it's another 5 months out of the ring. I'm not going to be inactive, and without being horrible, I'm not going to sit around and wait for Wardley to, when he's ready. So I'm going to do what I'm going to do. And if the fight's there in November, I have no issues, no problems. I'll take it. I'll fight him. There's not a problem with that. Really good fight. I hope it does. Finally happen. A really, really good fight. I think it's an intriguing fight. Obviously, domestic heavyweight title on the line as well. There's always something about a British heavyweight title fight in there. There's always something about it. So, and it's a good one as well. You got obviously Fabio Wardley unbeaten on a different broadcast with DAZN, with Eddie Hearn, and myself with Channel 5, and obviously the Southland brothers. I've already boxed for the British title, so this is my 2nd time boxing for the British title, so I can't let this one slip. I'm not going to let this one slip. I'm taking this British title home with me this time.
To be fair, Fabio did say to me that he wasn't going to fight before yourself, so you were going to be his next opponent, and he did say that there is a chance that Nathan will take a fight in the interim just to keep himself active. He did actually.
Yeah, definitely. Listen, on Fabio's behalf, he's been a lot more active than me. I've had one fight in the past 14 months, so, and that was only. I know I couldn't help it, but it was only 1 round. So I'll fight again. Hopefully, it goes another round. Then I'll fight him in September.
And Nathan, with Fabio, he's fought some experienced heavyweights. Obviously, in Gibraltar, I think it was in Gibraltar, we fought Eric Molina.
Yes.
Would you say that you're his first real acid tester?
1,000,000%. Without being disrespectful or horrible, because he's done very well from where he's come from. But I don't think he's been into deep waters yet. But on the other hand, you got to look at it this way: he hasn't let them get himself into deep waters. So there's 2 sides to every coin, isn't there? But I think I've done it myself. You've hit opponents and they've gone down, and then you've also hit the same, like an opponent what's quite experienced, and with the same shot, and they just shake it off and walk fight you and throw one back at you. There's a fine line. It's until you're in there, or you get a cut high, or you get put down, or you get it low, or you get headbutt. You can't see right for 10 seconds or something like that. All these little things he's yet to experience. So I've experienced it all. I've been put down, been beat, I've been cut. I've had literally all sorts. I've had tall tall opponents, short ones, fat ones, you name it. I've had them all. So I think the experience will take its toll. I've also been 12 rounds before, 10 rounders as well. So, and I think I've fought. Well, I know I've fought a lot better opponents than him.
Well, we look forward to some news over the coming weeks if the fight is confirmed. And like I said, it's a great.
Hopefully, mate. Fingers crossed. Next, 4 to 5 weeks, something like that. I'd imagine something will happen. But like I said, I got to concentrate on my next fight first before I even think about Wardley, because that's when slip-ups happen. But yeah, it's going to happen. I imagine it's going to happen this year.
Let's go back to Saturday night. It is Monday afternoon now. Joshua Usyk. Were you impressed with how Joshua
was
able to slightly adapt his ways of fighting from the first fight, and also how Usyk coped and how he was better as well?
Usyk's a box of tricks, isn't he? Very elusive, pinpoint accuracy, very, very clever fighter. You can see he beats virtually everyone by one heavyweight, in my opinion. He's very, very, very good. Joshua probably one of career best performances, even though he did get beat. One of his career best performances against someone so awkward and elusive as Usyk. Done very, very well. Said what he was going to do. He went at him more, let his hands go. Hurt him as well, in my opinion. But the better man won the night. Now, obviously Usyk, and Joshua said that as well, didn't he? So obviously, I know he said a lot of stuff after his fight, but we're fighters at the end of the day. We're on raw emotions. It is what it is. It happens, In day-to-day life, people say stupid stuff, don't they?
Obviously, he had that fantastic round in round 9, where without doubt was his best round.
Yeah, they had him there. Yeah, he nearly had him. Yeah, he did.
Did you have hope and more anticipation that when round 10 comes, he's going to continue that momentum? And were you surprised how Usyk came back out?
I did, yeah. But the thing is with Usyk, when you watch him, you think, oh, I could do this and do that. But he'd be that type of fighter when you're in there, because of his movement and his ring IQ, he'd make you do what he wants you to do, type of thing. And that's what he was doing with Joshua. He was slipping in and out. He was rolling with the punches, throwing his right hook backhands, and he was slipping in with his backhands, and he was catching him. It's unorthodox, isn't it? Obviously, Joshua was used to fighting the European style, stiff upright, 1-2 jab, which Joshua obviously is made for all day long, because if he hits you, he's putting you into next week, isn't he? Where Usyk's very slippery. Same as Ruiz, really, the first time. He's very slippery, and he counters punches. When Joshua throws his punches, he was countering. So he's going to be a difficult man to beat, as Usyk. Very, very good. Like I said, there's only one to beat him, in my opinion. But what a fire. Good, and credit to Joshua, done extremely well as well.
What did you make of what happened afterwards? He picked up Usyk's, I think it was WBA and Ring Magazine, raised it in the air, threw him on the floor, was held back by team members, walked out, walked back in, said...
I don't know what went on. I don't know if something was said, because obviously there's got to be a reason for him acting out the way he acted out, because it's not him usually, is it? He's usually very, very, very crisp, very vocal, very TV friendly, isn't he, as Joshua? So unless something happened in the ring, someone said something, I don't know, but things happen, don't they? I say people do stuff every day, and unfortunately for him, he happened to do would you call it a silly thing? Probably, yeah, probably not. He happened to do a silly thing, just as millions of people was watching him, but it happens, mate. Nothing you can do, is there?
Nathan, you went through a period in your career, obviously that Daniel Dubois loss, where you kind of was in a deep hole. I spoke to David Price yesterday after his fights with Thompson. He went in a deep hole. We saw Joshua crying and be very emotional at the press conference. Yeah. Did that time away help you? And because he's talking about fighting end of the year.
1,000,000%. For me, listen, when I lost to Daniel, I felt like I let everyone in the world down, including myself, everyone. The way I felt like everyone who bought a ticket to come watch me, I felt like I owed them something, because I didn't win, which I know it's a stupid way to think. I can understand. It puts a lot of weight on your shoulders, because it's not like you lose a game of football where 80 you lose, or your team loses. When you lose in boxing, it's you. That's it. That's all you get. Yeah, people will come and pat you on the back and say, "Oh, better luck next time." But when you go home, you're left with your own thoughts, and all sorts of shit goes through your mind. And honestly, it's not a good place to be. And it put me it put me in a bad place for about 3 or 4 months. I didn't even go to a boxing gym. I didn't even put on a pair of boxing gloves. That's the kind of state I was in until I got myself back right and I got back into training. But different people, different mindsets. Props Joshua needs to be back out. See, for me, I had to. It was my first loss as well, isn't it? So Joshua's been beat 3 times now, so he's dealt with it differently. He knows how to deal with it. See, now, God forbid, if I lost, I'd know how to deal with it.
But what would you do in those
experience.
in those 3-4 months? What would you do to keep your mind sane?
Truthfully, I would have 2-3 weeks off, go somewhere, a nice beach or something. If I was Joshua, recharge the batteries, get back in the gym. That's what I'd do, because that's the product and environment he's used to. He's used to that. He's used to that stuff. Let's be fair. Tyson Fury, he trains every single day of life because he knows for a certain fact that keeps his mental state right. If he's not running, he's in the bags in the gym, punching the bags or lifting weights. He's always doing some physical exercise, because them 2 or 3 hours out of the day stops his mind from overthinking. So it just comes to show you, the mind's a very powerful thing.
You said there that there's only one person that beats Usyk, and to be honest, in the heavyweight, that's the only fight that needs to really happen next. Lennox Lewis mentioned it in the tweet, and he said it's been nearly 20 years since we've had an undisputed fight.
Yeah, it's probably the biggest fight since Mayweather Pacquiao, isn't it? Let's be honest, and it probably surpasses that. The thing is, it's heavyweights, isn't it? The unified, undisputed heavyweight titles all on the line. Unbeaten versus unbeaten. Doesn't get any bigger, does it?
Can Usyk give Fury any problems?
Of course he can. Usyk can give everyone in the world problems. But and on that, I'm not saying it's being biased or anything. I'm just looking at the stats, and you can correct me if I'm wrong. 6'9", 20 stone, switch hitter, very elusive the way Tyson is, against 6'3", 15 stone. It's very come on. It's a big task, isn't it? It's a big task. I'd give it in if Tyson was 6'9" but couldn't, do anything. The man's extremely good. So I'm telling you, I think he beats him quite handily as well.
But the first point is does he come out of retirement? Do you think it's enough for him to come out of retirement?
I would, for hundreds of millions.
I mean, if it was Joshua, of course, the magnitude of that fight would be even bigger. Just like you and Wardley, and we love British fighters fighting each other.
That's the thing. It's something different when it's a Brit, in it. Like Brit versus Brit. There's always just adds that spark and adds that flavour. Great fight, though. Great fight.
No, absolutely. Well, Nathan, I appreciate you jumping on, giving me 10 minutes or so of your time. And yeah, we look forward to obviously you being back out in the ring, hopefully next month. And then wait for this announcement with Fabio Wardley. That's
the one, mate. That's the one.
Nathan Gorman, IFL TV. Thank you very much.
Cheers, brother. Take care.
It's a heavyweight.
I've gone back to the dad. I've punched him a few more times.
5 blokes outside my front door. Can you come and help
One
me?
hell of a fucking story, so stay tuned.
Welcome, Team Everlast, to the Team Everlast Fitness app. Download the Everlast Fitness app and find your greatness within.